big capacities of slurry down there. I'm guessing our big grain trailer has just become a manure distribution trailer. Maybe I'll get another big crane cart for the John Deere, specifically for moving grain, and we'll leave the big red trailer down by the manure pit. I could probably sell the manure spreader because we're probably not going to be chucking manure around with the BGA running. I don't know, so many plans. What's the best way to do it all? I'll go down the middle one. It's just easier. I don't have to crank the tractor right over to make that turn. So yeah, it is coming up on 11:30. We've probably been running about 3 hours now. So we'll be calling it shortly, I guess. Oh, let's full again. Not quite. Grab that piece, swing around the bale. I'm gonna guess 2 more after this one. We'll call it done. And then I think for not for bale contracts, but for grain contracts, I will collect the straw and we will ship it out to the BGA because it can be processed, which is going to make more digestate, which is going to go on our fields. And of course the first batch is going to be a learning curve. How much digest? We have more manure than we can cope with. I think we barely keep manure supplies stable when we're spreading it on the few fields that we have. So obviously if we deplete that and make it into digestate, that's one trick. The other thing is the slurry. We haven't touched the slurry for a long time. Now originally we just had the slurry tanker and we were letting the manure build up because we didn't have the manure trailer or the manure spreader. But you know, things are going to move along. We're producing way more slurry than we can distribute over all of our fields and keep the nitrogen at levels we need them. So again, it's just way too much. But I think with our supplies of manure down at the distribution plant, or the production plant, we've already made 6,500. So we get, over the course of a year, transferring all of the manure and all of the slurry down to the production facility there. That should vastly reduce the amount of product that we end up with. But it will be sufficient for us to tip on the fields. So that's all a good thing. And, BGA, we can look at that and say, well, once everything's planted and we don't need digestate till next year, we could just sell it for 6 months and then, next summer store it for use on the farm. I think that might work. Okay, we are done baling. Do I need to take the baler back to the other farm? I don't know. Let's park this over here, because we're just parking everything in this yard for the moment. And let's take you down to the grain mill and let's get these oats processed. I can't remember if there's a mod that makes productions tippable, so that we could go down to the flour mill and tip the pallets of flour into this grain trailer and then transport them bulk down to the dude that makes bread that they call a bakery. It'd just be easier to transport. The problem is then it becomes a tippable thing and stuff. What is the time? It is 4:20 game time. Oh, you are. You're struggling a little bit more than the John Deere was. Give it that much. But, excuse me. So I think after we've tipped it, I'll take this back to the yard, get it filled up. I might jump back to the John Deere. We'll go and plant the grass field. And we'd have to switch the roller over for rolling rather than mulching. That's okay. If I put the rollers back on the roller, then we can plant the grass, roll the grass, and that will then sit until August 1 when it'll germinate. Then we can get out in this tractor with the sprayer and the crop sensors and go and spray both of our grass fields there in preparation for mowing. Just before winter sets in. Then what's next? Then we need more money, because I just spent it all foolishly. Because I'm a foolish money spender. I think I mentioned last week that I had finished watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Second season has dropped on Paramount Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus, so not going to see that season, at least not for a while. We might look at some of the streaming networks we have and maybe consider dropping one or switching one, but I don't know. We're kind of okay with where we're at the moment. So, but I would need, it's dropping on Paramount Plus, and I don't have a legitimate reason for getting Paramount Plus. Oh, there's one show on it. No. Kind of the problem with and the streaming services are realizing this. Obviously, during COVID, everyone was stuck in the house. You can't go out, you can't do anything, you can't socialize. So everybody sat at home with nothing to do. So, well, I'm not going to the movies, I'm not going to the water park, I'm not spending money on stuff. So I'll spend a few bucks a month on a few streaming services because I can watch everything. It was like back when I first moved to Michigan, I was temporary contract. So I stayed in a long stay hotel, basically a hotel with small cooking facilities, refrigerator, a refrigerator that's bigger than a normal hotel room refrigerator, TV, DVD player, and that's when I took out my Netflix subscription. I mean, this was back in 2006, 7, 8, 6, probably about 2006. So I took the Netflix subscription with primarily for the DVDs because their streaming content was woeful at the time. And you could, I can't remember whether I had 3-disc membership or 4-disc membership, but you basically took out a membership for the number of discs you could have, and you would put things on your list, and when you sent them a DVD back, they would send you the next one on your list if they had it. If they didn't have it, then if you were watching a TV show which was 6 discs and you just returned disc 3, you have 4 and 5, so the next one should be 6, but they don't have 6 at the warehouse at the moment. What they would do is they would then pick the next disc after. So what I tended to do was to say TV series, 2 movies, TV series, 2 movies, so that if they didn't have the next disc for my TV series, they would send me a movie, and I don't have I could watch the movie anytime. But it was really neat because you just had you could just watch any of the things. Now they've just dropped their DVD service as of 1st of September, so you can't get DVDs from Netflix anymore, which is a shame because with the DVDs you had access to far more shows than they were streaming, and I think that might still be true. So Star Trek used to be on Netflix. It's not anymore because Paramount Plus came out. But even today, I think you could still borrow Star Trek on DVD from Netflix. although Netflix don't have the license to stream it. So they were kind of like mail order Blockbuster. But yeah, they had everything. They had access to everything. But their streaming service, as I said, was poor. They didn't have a lot of shows on it. They cycled them very quickly. So if you wanted to watch something streamed, you really had to get up and watch it because it would be gone in about 2 or 3 months. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to drop this off at the manure place. Why am I dropping this off? I am so confused what I'm doing here. This wasn't a plan. This wasn't part of the plan, should I say. Okay. So we will drop this off here. But as more and more streaming services came into existence, because everyone was thinking, oh, we could set up our own streaming service and stream all of our shows and maybe get licenses for other production companies' shows. Well, that worked initially, but when all of the production companies have the idea of having their own streaming service, the other stuff you can license to stream just it dries up. So as I said, you used to be able to watch Star Trek on Netflix. Now you can't watch Star Trek at all because Paramount Plus was created and all of the Star Trek shows were, you can run your current license, but as soon as the license has expired, we're not licensing Star Trek to anybody anymore because we want it on our streaming service. And so, slowly but surely, Netflix has lost out on a lot of content they used to be able to access if they paid the service or the license for, to now be in a situation where they really can't, there's nothing out there. But none of the streaming services have enough of their own content to make it worthwhile for me to have, I would need to have streaming on from every single service in order to cover all the shows I might be interested in. But I'm sorry, that's not financially efficient enough. So I'm not doing it. So you need to have a lot of shows that I'm interested in for me to consider paying for your service. Okay, I need to... That would be grass. And that is what the little help thing says. So we have grass in the planter. And I'm hearing, most of the streaming networks are now finding it's a problem. There's not enough. There's not enough subscribers. But the reason there's not enough subscribers is you don't have enough variety. So I'm not paying for your service unless you give me a lot of variety. And that's their problem. So you're hearing rumours that Disney Plus might go away because Disney are part owners because they bought Fox. They're part owners of Hulu. So Hulu's a channel or a subscription service with a lot of content because a lot of production studios got in on the deal at the beginning. CBS decided not to. So CBS created their own streaming network, which kind of flopped. But because CBS owns Paramount as well, they decided, well, maybe we do Paramount. We renamed the service Paramount Plus, and we put all of the Paramount shows on as well as the CBS shows. It kind of works, but auto width. Set a 0. Actually, that's surprisingly good. So yeah, it's a very sad state of affairs now, where the streaming services are just collapsing due to lack of subscription, but I think they're collapsing. The lack of subscription is due to the lack of variety, and people aren't willing to pay $15 a month for maybe 3 shows that they're interested in, especially with the way the streaming networks are working. You look at Disney, they've got some good shows, they've got a lot of bad shows, but if you're a fan of Star Wars, and okay, I'm gonna watch The Mandalorian and the other one, where they're building the Death Star. I can't remember what it was, what that show's called. But there's 3 or 4 shows that you're interested in. The problem is there's 10 episodes or 8 episodes or 6 episodes, and so they drop over a course of 6 weeks, and then you have to wait 3 months before the next show drops. So why am I paying for Disney right at the moment when they don't have any shows that are being released that I want to watch? And then you get the justification of, and why am I buying Disney for a month when there's only one show that I want to watch, and it's going to drop over the next 6 weeks. I have watched a couple of shows recently. There was Foundation, which was on, I think, Apple. So I waited till the entire series released, because that was being released weekly. And as soon as the last episode dropped, I then took advantage of the free week subscription and watched them all. And then let the subscription expire, and I'm not out any money. I watched the show I wanted to watch. We're done. There was another show I could have watched that I did that as well. I just waited until the entire season dropped, and then I took advantage of their free 1 week subscription. And okay, so I've used my free 1 week subscription on Apple TV. I'm not going to, I can't do it again. I suppose my wife could do it again, and then teenagers that could do it again. But, it's a thing that I just don't see the point in paying for a subscription service when I don't watch enough on there to justify that cost. And it's not like, well, I'm stuck at home 24/7, so I want as much entertainment as I can get my hands on. We're done. with that. That was COVID. That's over. So getting a subscription to all the channels is just not worth it anymore. So you have to, for me, you have to offer me something else. We have Hulu because it has the variety. You do have live TV, and we don't have cable TV anymore because that was just getting stupid expensive. I do have cable internet, but that's now at least reasonable. Oh, I think we saved about $70-80 on our cable bill by just, we don't want TV anymore. And then Hulu cost us half that. So, justified. And Hulu has streaming service which has access to a bunch of other stuff that, we can also take advantage of watching. We have Amazon because deliveries. And we still tend to order a lot of stuff off Amazon. So free delivery is worth it and pays for itself. And we have access to Amazon Prime streaming. So I'll take advantage of that, but it's not why I bought the streaming service. And I think if we didn't take advantage of the free delivery, then we wouldn't have Amazon Prime anymore. And we have Disney for the kids, but even then, that's questionable whether we still want that or not. But I'm not buying any more. If we were going to get, say, Paramount Plus, I'd be looking at, okay, what can I get rid of? Disney. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get Paramount Plus. But what's on Paramount Plus that draws me to, okay, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 shows on there that maybe I'll watch. But so many of the streaming services are just like, I'm not sure we're going to be continuing this service because there's no income.